Hey, hello! On this quick tutorial, I'm going to teach you how to create your first Marvel project, how to add hotspots to link screens, and how to add realistic transitions. Marvel is a perfect prototyping tool for designers, agencies, and startups. It makes it easy to turn your sketches, images, and mockups into realistic mobile and web prototypes. So to get started, you probably just want to sign up or sign in if you have already created your account. So let's go ahead, and if you want to sign up, you can do it with your Dropbox account or just with your email. So I'm going to sign in. I'm going to use my email, and let's log in. So as you will see, the first thing you will notice is that there are no projects, there's nothing, but you can create your first project, watch a demo video, or try a sample project. So this big button is to create a project. So let's create our first project. This first project, you can name it. I'm going to name it Peeps. And you can select the prototype device that you want to use. For this tutorial is going to be an iPhone app. So once you're done, you can create your first project. So perfect. As you can see, right now it's blank, and you can start uploading your designs. You can drag and drop PSDs, PNGs, JPEGs, GIFs, and you can do it also with Dropbox and coming soon with Google Drive. So to do it with Dropbox, you can just pretty easily just connect with your Dropbox account and go ahead and select the images inside your Dropbox folder. But for this demo, we're going to just use images that are already created, and we're going to drag and drop. So just by dragging and dropping, automatically adds your images here. And if you want to zoom in or zoom out, you can do it here and adjust it to your screen needs. So right there, it looks pretty good. And as you can see, I have everything here, and I can hover and start editing. One thing that you need to know is that before you import your images, it's really important that all of your images are created at the right size. So for example, this is an iPhone prototype, and I made the artboards to be at least the width to be 750 and the height 1334. So depending on your prototype, you want to be wary of those kind of things when you're exporting your images. So over here, I already have my screens, and I can start editing. So let's go ahead and edit our first image. And I have my first image, but I can see that actually this is not the first image. What you can do is drag and drop according to the flow of your sketch. On this prototype, it all starts with the welcome screen, and then you start creating your account, and you add your email and name, and then so I'm going to order this. Marvel automatically will order your screens alphabetically. So probably you want to, if you don't have them ordered automatically alphabetically, you can just drag and drop your images the right way here. So I think I have everything in order, so I can start editing. So go ahead and edit the first image, and everything seems good, but it's a little bit too big for my screen. So what I can do is just zoom out, and that's about right. That's pretty good. I can start creating my first hotspot. To create my first hotspot, I just drag and drop. I'm going to drag and drop here to create a hotspot on the sign up button. Once I do that, I get a menu, so I can select what the hotspot destination is going to be. So this hotspot is going to take me where? So this hotspot is going to take me to the next image. I just select it from all of the images, and I can actually add a transition too. These transitions look pretty realistic, and they mimic transitions on mobile. So you can do a fade, you can do a push, you can do a slide, and you can do pop and flip, which are pretty fun. So for this one, let's do a push left. And you can also edit the action that triggers this hotspot. For this one, it's going to be a click or tap, but sometimes you want it to be a hover, you want it to be a swipe, you want it to be a pinch, or even a double tap. So for those kind of projects, you can use those kind of actions. So I'm done, and I can navigate to the next screen where I'm going to add a hotspot. To do that, you can simply just use this navigation tools, or you can use your keyboard shortcuts from left to right. So I just press the right key on my keyboard, and I'm on the next screen. which is pretty cool. So now here, I'm going to add a huge hotspot right here. This is a hotspot. This hotspot is going to link to the next image, which is the sign up to. And I'm going to add a transition of fade. That's it. That's pretty much it. And let's go to the next one. So I press the right keyboard. And I'm going to add here a huge hotspot on the keyboard. So now that I'm here, I'm going to select the next image. I'm going to add a screen transition of fade. And that's about it. Let's go to the next screen. This screen, the sign up button now is active and all the information is there. So I'm going to add a big hotspot here on the sign up button. This is going to bring me to the content, the logged in screen. And for this one, I'm going to add a transition. I can do it to push left, push right, but I think push left will be right. So the content comes from the left. And that's about it. You could add another hotspot, for example, here. And if you wanted to bring you back to the previous screen. But on this one, I don't want this hotspot. So what you can do if you don't want a hotspot, you can just click it and then delete it by pressing the X button. As you can see, you delete it and you're good. So let's go to the next screen. This screen, I have all my content. I'm inside the app. You can see I have these photos, this content, and I also have a header and a footer. And I want those, the header and the footer to be fixed on my app. So I can scroll through the content, but those things stay fixed on the screen. So to do that, I can just drag and drop. And as you can see, there's a magnifying glass so I can get very precise with it. So 127 pixels, it tells me fixed header from the top. I drop it and I just created my fixed header. And for the footer, I do the same, but I do it the opposite way. And that's about right, 108 pixels. So I have that and I have this. That's pretty much it. So to add your fixed header and footer, and you're going to see later how that works. For now, I'm going to add another hotspot. This hotspot is going to be for this big image, and this is going to take me to the next screen. I'm going to add a transition to slide up. Sliding up, and then I'm going to go to the next screen, and I'm going to, on this one, I'm going to add two hotspots, one here and one down here. This one is going to be so I can like the photo. So I press like, and I'm going to add a transition of fade, and I'm going to add another hotspot up here so I can exit this photo. So this one is going to actually take me back to the previous screen. And for that one, I'm going to add the opposite transition that I used to get here. To get here, I use slide up. So it makes sense to use slide down to go back to the previous screen. So, and that's it. On the next screen, I can see that I have the same icon and which does the same action as this one. So I'm a little bit lazy, so I just want to use the same one. And it's pretty, I could probably create a new one, or I can go to the previous one and actually duplicate it. Since it's doing the same thing, I just duplicate it and then I select the images, the screens where this action takes place, where this action is repeated. So I select this one and I confirm that that action is duplicated there. This comes pretty handy when you have a flow, a huge flow of a lot of screens with an icon or a button that does the same thing and it's in the same place on all of those screens. So instead of creating a hotspot on all of those screens, you just create one and duplicate it everywhere. So as you can see, I'm on this current image, and if I go to the next one, that hotspot is still there too. And does the same, is the same size. And if I actually make it a little bit smaller, I can see that on the other screen, it changed too, which is pretty handy. So let's go over here and we're going to add the last hotspot that we want. And this one is, you know what? I made an accident and I actually don't like this photo. So I just go back to this. So, and let's create a transition of fade and we should be good. So that's it. We have created all of our hotspots, all of our transitions on our prototype. So it's time to play with it, which is pretty cool. Here you can see that you can play and you can see your prototype on a device already right here. So it's already here and you can actually play with it with the hotspots that you created. So the first one is sign up. takes me here. I click here, it brings the keyboard up. I start typing something. Now I have my information there. The sign up button is active. I click it, and now I'm inside the content. Pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff. As you can see, something is that these, the header and the footer are fixed as we created. I scroll through the content, but those things remain fixed. Another cool thing that probably you're noticing is that the headers are translucent. So you might be asking yourselves, how did we do that? And that's pretty simple. To do that on your Photoshop or Sketch or Illustrator file, whatever you use to design, make sure that those elements, let me zoom in, those elements, for example, on this one, I created that shape to be 20% opacity. And on the footer, I made it, let me see, this rectangle, I made it 60% opacity. And that opacity is reflected on your Marvel prototype, which comes in pretty handy. So let's go to this one, and we're inside. We can like, dislike, and we can close it. So that's it. Another thing that you want to do is go back to your project, and probably you want to add a team so people can comment or edit the images, or you can share. This is where it becomes pretty handy, because you can share this this link, and this link will take you to the prototype. You can also do via email. You can enter an email and send the prototype, or you can send it to a phone to someone. That way they can actually use it on their phone, which comes pretty handy. So I copy the prototype. I open a new tab, Command V, and the prototype is right here. You can share it anywhere and with anyone, and it's public, and it's amazing. So that's it. We create our first prototype. Pretty simple, pretty easy, and super quick.